everyone, I've got a couple of things I want to show you today. I've received a lovely package of really interesting happy mail from Jenny Gambrill. Jenny contacted me whilst I was doing the recycle, repurpose and reuse prompt, and she said I've got a few interesting bits of pieces that I'd like to send to you, and it arrived on Friday, so I want to show you that. And I also want to show you the Hungry Caterpillar journals that I've been working on, so I'll show you those at the end. But look at this interesting little package of goodies that I've received. She sent me a couple of pieces of vintage wallpaper. I haven't got any proper vintage wallpaper. I've got some vintage style wallpaper, but not, you know, the real vintage stuff. And this is just lovely. Just look at this. Bless this house. I just think that's so sweet. And I'm thinking with this that I can maybe make some embellishments. I don't know. I shall put my thinking cap on and have a think about that. So there's that one there, quite a large piece of it. And then there's a piece of this paper here. And I love this because the flowers are really textured. So I think what I will probably end up doing with this is fussy cutting the flowers and the leaves out and using that on a project in that way. I don't know, again, I shall put my thinking cap on there. Then Jenny has sent me sort of a lovely selection of textured papers, just gorgeous. She sent me this one here, which looks as if it's a piece of heavily crumpled paper. And she's gone over it with either paint or ink, so I'm not really sure. It's got stamping on. In fact, the more I'm looking at it, the more details I'm seeing. Now it looks as if there's leaves and things stamped in the background. I can see stars as well. Just love that. I think it's the back as well that I find really interesting. And I think that what I will end up doing with this is probably cutting it in half and using the front and the back. I don't know, that intrigues me. Let me know how you did this, Jenny. I know that I've asked you a couple of questions on some of the other pieces, but I don't think I asked about this one here. She sent me a selection of doilies as well, so there's a mixture of different sizes. I really like these small ones. I think they're really cute, and I love this one here. Look at this. So I can see that being used as a frame, and I don't know, maybe gessoing over it to bring out the detail. I don't know. Again, I'll put my thinking cap on with that one there. I love this piece here. This is a piece of foiled paper. I like it on that side there, and again, you know, this is part of a collage. I just think will look really cute. I've also got a selection of embossed papers here as well, and it's all sort of, you know, handmade cotton type paper. Love this brick wall one. That's fun, isn't it? Love the colour of this navy blue one. I think that's gorgeous, and it's textured on this side. So I've got some ideas for that as well. Again, with this sort of burgundy coloured one, they just feel so nice. Then a couple of background pieces as well, which are just really lovely. So again, great backgrounds for tags and that kind of thing. Love this tissue paper. This is hand stamped tissue paper, and again, it's just got bags and bags of texture because it's crumpled. I just love that, and it looks as if Jenny's gone over it with an ink pad, so that will be fun to use. Love this green paper here, green fibrous paper. There's a name for this paper and I can't think what it is, so that's just very pretty. Love this harlequin piece of paper here. Again, it looks as if it's been embossed, so that will be fun to use. I love this. Love is an incurable disease. No one who catches it wants to recover, and all its victims refuse a cure. I just love that. That's I'm going to enjoy using that. Then she sent me a couple of napkins, 4 napkins, 2 of each design. Just love this cockerel one. That is just really sweet. So we could do something with those. We'll have to do maybe a series on napkins or something. And I just absolutely love these butterfly ones. Very Tim Holtz, aren't they? I just love those. Absolutely gorgeous. Yes, you're right. These are cute. Jenny wrote me a note and said, aren't the napkins cute? And yes, they are. Then she sent me some map pages as well, and I want to use one of these for Sunday's project. I think I'm going to do the postcard, so I've got an idea for these. So, you know, those will be fun to use. And these are just the bottom, I presume, off the page. And then this I just think is really interesting. Let me just move that out of the way for a second. It's plasticized, and I thought it was maybe a plastic outdoor tablecloth or something, very vintagey, but Jenny thinks it's a drawer liner or something. But again, I just think that would be really interesting to use. Love that. And then finally, a bag of embellishments made with her own painty papers, and these are a lot of fun too. I've got these feathers. I just think these feathers are just absolutely gorgeous. It's the colours that are in them. I just love, love, love these. So there's 4 of the feathers. See if I can pick them up. Oh, come on. They're so fragile. They're really difficult to grab hold of. But aren't the colours just gorgeous? I love those. I think they're gorgeous. Thanks ever so much, Jenny. And then I've got some more flowers, just in a different style. There's a few of these in the package. I think there's probably about 4 or 5 of those. I can't pick them up. Sorry, they're sticking everywhere. And then some of these leaves. I love these flowers and hearts. There's a couple of different sized hearts as well, so those are really, really sweet. You can see that one, I can't get hold of it. And then some die cuts and things. I've got some of these little mini tags with sort of like a party birthday theme. Those are really sweet. Let's pop those there. Look at this as well. Just love that tree. Isn't that gorgeous? Love that. Thanks ever so much. And then some of these pieces of ephemera, and I just think these are really sweet. Little ledger page here, the Tim Holtz style hands. A quote, "The world of reality has its limits, but the world of imagination is boundless." And then every possibility begins with the courage to imagine. Just love that. And a little sundial. And then this one here, which is sort of like an autumn themed card. So thanks ever so much. That's a really lovely, interesting selection of goodies that you've sent me there, Jenny. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. And so if you have any ideas as to how I can use any of the Happy Mail that Jenny sent me, then, you know, please feel free to leave a message in the comments section. I'm always open to ideas, and, you know, sometimes you guys think of ways that these things can be used, and I might not have thought about it. Anyway, I promised when we were doing the journals for recycle, repurpose and reuse that I would come back and show you what I eventually did with the Hungry Caterpillar journals. So I'm just going to do a bit of a flip through of those now, but just to remind you, this was the journal that I originally created, and of course I cut out a couple of extra cereal boxes, and I mentioned in the video that my plan was to decorate them with the Hungry Caterpillar paper chain garland that I'd picked up, and so I finally got round to finishing them. So just to recap, I have this pack of paper chain garland from the very Hungry Caterpillar. It was one that I picked up from one of the local village stores. There's sort of like a kids shelf, and these were on there, and it was the patterns that that caught my attention. It was £3, which is the equivalent to just over $4, so not expensive at all, and it was just full of these paper chains, and it's just the patterns on the paper I just thought was lovely, really, really sweet. So these are the garlands that are in this pack. I love this number one here. There's the strip with what the caterpillar ate, and so all I did was I cut some of these into strips. So I cut strips, and then I also cut rectangles as well. And so let me show you how I made these journals. Let me start off with this one here. Let's just undo it. So the cardboard box was the same size as the original one I used, and I'll leave the link to that video as well. So if you want to know how I made these, they were done in exactly the same way as this one. It's just, you know, the materials that I used to decoupage was different. So this is the one here that you can see that oh, excuse me, I made by just gluing on the strips. And again, I just glued it on with a glue stick and then went over the top with matte medium, or I think it was just matte Mod Podge. And then I went over again with a coat of white gesso, and then rubbed some of that off just to, you know, soften, because, you know, these are very, very bright, and I just didn't want it quite so bright. And it just looked a bit plain, so I decided to paint a Hungry Caterpillar on the front. I just used this sponge here, and I I just dipped the sponge into the paint and just stamped it on, and then added the features. So I've added the caterpillar's legs, you know, the eyes, the nose, and the little antenna as well. So that's that one there. Now this one is filled with painted papers, a mixture of my painted papers and painted papers that I've received in Happy Mail as well. I mean, I know for instance that this page here was one that that Noit sent me in Happy Mail, and the colours just weren't perfect. I've tried to stick with colours that match the colours in the garlands that I've used, so greens, blues, oranges, yellows, and that kind of thing. So let me just give you a bit of a flip through. And there's all kinds of papers in here. I mean, for instance, this is the deli paper that I was working on whilst I was painting the inside cover. I sponged the inside cover in the same way that as the way I did with this one here, and that was, as I say, just the deli paper that was down as I was doing the painting, and I just thought it just feels so nice. I love the feel of deli paper. That was a piece of paper left over from when I was doing the salad spinner art, and again I just used this sponge here just to mop up all the excess that was in the bottom of the bowl. Distress inks by the looks of things. Again, I think this is a painted paper that Noit had sent me in Happy Mail. Deli paper, more deli paper from the background. So, you know, a real selection of different types of papers in here, and that's just the other side of the ones that I've just shown you. And then I made an envelope. I just cut it on my envelope punch board, and I've just put some tags in here, again in similar colours, just because these match the inside cover. And I filled it with some of the paper strips, the Hungry Caterpillar paper strips. So there's that one there, and then the second one. This one's slightly different. This is the one that I glued rectangles on, and so I just glued rectangles on, again using a Pritt stick, and then went over with a coat of matte medium, and then I've given this one a blue wash with just some thin down paint. Then I stuck some of the garland on the front. Let me just see if I can, here it is. I just cut some of these out and stuck these on the front, and I don't know, it just didn't look right. It looked a bit plain, so I decided to go over this with a caterpillar as well. I just think these are just so much fun. I mean, they're really silly, but I just think they're a lot of fun. And then this one here is just filled with a mixture of different types of paper. So I've got some mixed media paper, craft paper, some vintage graph paper here, deli paper, plain copier paper, vintage lined paper, cartridge paper, and then I think we're back to the mixed media paper again, and I just repeat the signature. So, you know, we've just got, as I say, just a selection of plain papers in this one here. The inside cover on this one was sponged in exactly the same way, and so there they are, the two different journals. So let me know which one you prefer. Do you prefer the one with the painted paper, or do you prefer the one with the plain paper? I'm interested. You might not like them at all. You might think that they're totally silly and it was a crazy harebrained Nina Ribena idea, but no, I'd just be really interested to know your thoughts. So there you go, that's what I have been up to. So I hope you like the Happy Mail that Jenny sent me, and as I say, if you've got any ideas, then, you know, let me know. I'd be interested to hear what you think on that, and let me know which of these journals you like the best. So as always, I would really appreciate a thumbs up, because it just lets YouTube know that you like what I'm doing. And let me know what you think in the comments below, and take care everyone. I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.